and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're already part of the Sprinkle Squad. I'm so happy to see you again. And today we are here actually building kind of like a tiny home. I don't know if it's actually like registered as one based on just like floor tile, but that's kind of the idea. I got this inspiration from watching like tiny home shows. So, there's different shows where they go like hunting for tiny homes or building tiny homes. And I went through a period of time over the summer where I watched nothing but those tiny home shows. And there were so many of them that were built in these like silos, which I thought was just so neat. And of course, when it comes to actual tiny homes, they can do such innovative things in terms of storage and how they fit everything together, which unfortunately we don't have that ability in the Sims. So like I did my best to make this make sense. And of course, like while I was building this, I was literally like wondering, why am I even building with round walls? Because if you've built with round walls, it's just honestly, it is such a pain. I wish they were easier to work with because it would be so cool, but I did stick with it. I was trying to do like a balcony thing, but it just like things were not working out super well. So this build definitely took a while and took a lot of experimenting to like get it right. And what I did learn was that like every time I see these kinds of like tiny homes are like built, I think, oh, like it's a silo, but these are actually like the bigger, wider ones, like the shorter, wider ones are actually called grain bins, which I thought was kind of interesting. So in case you were wondering, that's what they're actually called. And I just thought that was kind of fun when I was watching those shows. So like, I guess you learn something new every day. And I just really wanted to use this. And I did use this in Henford on Bagley. So this is actually a gorgeous lot. I love it so much. I wish it didn't rain so much in Henford on Bagley, like, or is that just me? I just feel like it's constantly raining, which is a bit frustrating since the world is so beautiful. But of course you could place this in Eco Lifestyle, since I did use a lot of Eco Lifestyle and used kind of like all of those items. Like I used the solar panels and everything. So if you want to place it there, that's, obviously totally up to you if you want to use this build. And on that note, it is already up on the Sims 4 gallery under my ID Spice and Sprinkles, all one word, all lowercase, and down in the description if you want to see it written out. And I will say this really did take so much experimenting between the round walls and everything, like even trying to put stairs here. I tried so hard. I believe I left some of that footage in, but I ended up not even being able to use stairs inside. Like I had such a hard time. The sim didn't want to like go up the stairs for some reason, so we do end up using a ladder inside. And it is kind of like a loft space on the second floor, and there is like a large open space up there, so you can kind of see down into the first floor, almost into this like greenhouse gardening kind of area, because I just thought that would be really neat. And like I said, this was something I was watching over the summer. So I built this back in July, so it has been a minute. So some of this stuff I feel like will be as much of a surprise for me as it is for you, because it's just been a minute, and I uploaded it even like over the summer, so it really has been a while since I've even seen it. But I remember being so excited about this build. You can see I'm trying to use stairs, and I think part of the problem too is with the round walls and everything, even using stairs takes up a lot of space for your Sims. And again, like in real tiny homes and really being able to custom build stuff, you can do some amazing things that I just couldn't pull off in the Sims. But I really did want a lot of windows, a lot of light, just a lot of open like space, which I think we did achieve. I believe we almost have like an door open air bathroom kind of thing, which I think ended up being really cool. I think I started having issues when I was on the second floor, like, wait, I need a bathroom somewhere. Where am I going to place it? That happens to me, honestly, so many times where I'm just like, what was I thinking? Like, I didn't even put a place for a bathroom. Like, let me know if that's something that happens to you if you're building. Or like, I've forgotten one time I was building, I think I forgot a fridge in the kitchen, and I didn't realize it until I was like taking screenshots, and I was like, this kitchen looks a little funny, and turns out I forgot that there needed to be a fridge. And I guess you just get so caught up in like what you're doing when you're building and all the details that you just kind of forget about those things. And I do end up putting almost like a little carport here, which again, in The Sims, we can't really drive cars, but I kind of sometimes like putting them in just because it just feels more realistic, you know what I mean? Like a Sim would have a car and all of that. And I just thought it ended up looking really cute. And I do end up putting a large pool in the backyard. And I believe this is around the time the Riviera kit came out, because I used the like waterfall rocks from that kit. And I think it ended up looking really nice. But you can see I'm trying to like do something interesting with the fencing so that it's not just like a large like black fence going across. And I was just trying to do, again, this whole build was very experimental and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. But in the end, I think I just ended up with that tall black fence because it just made the most sense and looked the most normal. But maybe I'll go back to trying to do some interesting stuff with fencing at some point. But I did want a lot of greenery, and I figured this sim was into planting, so I do have some planter boxes and everything in the backyard as well. We do have the recycler as well under this like awning that we end up putting back there. And I just feel like this is really a very nice getaway for a sim, and then making sure there's a lot of lighting outside because I envisioned them going outside and hanging out and eating and hanging out at the pool, which I'm honestly like super happy with the way it turned out. All like blue accents out here. I like that the flowers in those bushes match the car that I chose, and I believe that car is Debug from the cottage living pack, I believe. And then we have some eco lifestyle bicycles, which I thought were super cute. And like, again, since it's been so long, like who knows, maybe I actually end up deleting those, but I think they end up sticking around. And it honestly, like, I think this took me 5 different recording sessions to get right, just because I did so much experimenting. And usually, so when I am building, I don't know if you're interested in knowing this, but I guess I'm going to tell you anyways. When I'm recording, I usually, if I feel like I'm taking a long time on something or I'm going to try to experiment and I don't know how it's going to turn out, I'll like pause my recording so that I don't have to edit it out and you don't have to watch me do some of that stuff for like forever and then it not actually work out. So I did do a lot of that too with this build, where I ended up having just to try things and then I didn't like it. And you can see here too, when I was trying to put in the bed, I wanted the bed to be able to look out onto like out the window into that like lovely landscape that we have around there. And I had a really hard time because of the size of the bed and how much space I needed for the stairs and everything. And it just like, I tried to put it on a platform. I tried so many things, but again, the round walls gave me a lot of issues. Like I couldn't like spread out that platform. So then I thought maybe if I twist the stairs around and do some experimenting, maybe put up a wall for the kitchen. And I mean, some of that does stay. I do believe we end up having the kitchen kind of over here, which ended up being really cute. And I think I do end up having like a little room off of the kitchen if I remember correctly. And I really did want that to work. Like I thought it was so cool having the stairs come down and off, and I ended up doing like trying to do it from the left and the right, like it being like this grand staircase, which I don't know, it feels a little silly considering it's supposed to be a tiny home, but I just thought it was cool. But it ended up not working out super well. And before I forget, I do end up like, I have a sim come in and paint. So I thought this sim would maybe be interested in painting, that kind of thing. So they do have a space to do that. So I had a sim paint some landscaping like from around the home. And I posted that almost like a gallery wall when you walk in the front door. However, if you were to go look this up and you want to actually use that stuff, it is considered CC for some reason, which is a little frustrating because it's just something the sim painted in-game of in-game assets, and it just, I don't know, the game was upset about that. So I uploaded it with that quote CC, so like those paintings, and I also uploaded it without the CC so that you can download it either way. And I don't remember if I experimented if you actually tried downloading it with that CC paintings, if the paintings would actually show up for you. Like I wonder if they would, just because they are actually in game. It's not actually CC at all, but because I really don't have any CC in my game, because I do like uploading it to the gallery and making sure everybody can have access to it. I say that as a lot of times I use a ton of packs, and most people do not have all of those packs because it can be really expensive to get all of those. So, and also let me know, like I know we just had like holiday time, like were there any packs that you got for the holiday season? Like let me know if you're excited to use some of those. And I used to try to do it when it was on sale, but then as I started making content, I started buying them kind of when they came out. And I know that a lot of packs have come out since I kind of took a little hiatus from like actually posting content. So I need to actually go and mess with those packs a little bit. Like I've been using them in my own gameplay, but I haven't really done pack specific builds. So I need to work on that. Like I'm still working on a castle for that castle kit that we got. It's just like, I don't know. I'm in love with the build, but it's going to take me a while to finish just because I made it so detailed and so large. Like, I don't even know like how well it'll even run on some PCs or some laptops because it's just gonna have so much stuff in it, but I'm super excited about it. So hopefully sometime soon that will be out. But I did use this eco lifestyle shelf there and just kind of put a TV on top of it because I thought that would be kind of cute in this space. And again, I was trying not to block too much of the windows, and of course I did have a bunch of issues trying to put curtains on the windows since it was round walls. So if you saw that little jump there, it's because I was having so many issues. I just paused the recording and figured it out and then started the recording again because, again, you don't have to see me try putting up curtains for like forever. And we also have issues like with round walls, like if you try to paint the ceilings, like I would want to do that, but it just does weird stuff. Like it doesn't actually paint all of it sometimes, so I didn't end up doing that. So if you do download this and you would like to, paint the ceilings, that kind of thing, feel free to do so, or alter it to meet the needs of your Sims. But I just thought this was a really fun build. And also on that note, if you do have any ideas for other builds, I do have like a list in front of me, like at my desk. Like anytime I think of something, I'm like, oh, I need to write this down so I can build that. And if you have any ideas that you want to see, let me know down in the comments. And I always write all your suggestions down, and then when I'm in the mood to actually build whatever that is, or I feel like I can properly execute that build, then I do build it. And I do have a few I know lined up that people have suggested, or if there's specific items. I did ask one time if there were specific items you wanted to try or have me try to use, and I do know somebody commented that using the librarian's door that I think came with University, is that the correct pack? I think so, yeah, Discover University, trying to use those just because I think they're, and specifically in the blue and brown swatch, so I do have an idea for that. So I need to actually just finish it, or actually I need to start it and finish it and get that out. So if you are the person that commented that, don't worry, I do have that written down and I have been thinking about it. But like I said, I did have this like open area there in the center because I thought it would be like this little greenhouse space for this sim, and I thought it ended up looking so cute, and I wanted you to be able to like look down into it from the second floor, and I think it turned out really well. And I did use these 4 rent cabinets here, which honestly they are so beautiful. Like I thought they did such a good job. I love being able to see that clutter in there. Of course, like in my dream world we would be able to change the clutter so it's not like repetitive, but I do really like those cabinets. And then just adding in, as I'm honestly finding items, I'm placing them in random areas. And I did actually end up putting the thermostat like by the front door. I left it on one of the windows like high up, so if you're looking for it, that's where it is. I didn't mean to leave it there, but it was already there and I didn't realize it until after it was already up on the gallery. So I think it was one of those, like, I always almost forget to do it, so I just kind of like put it over by the front door because that's usually where I like to put it, and then like move it accordingly, and then I think I forgot to move it. So that is over there, and it is in kind of an odd spot if you are looking for it. And as usual, we do have our fruit bowl there, and I did have a few issues too just trying to place counters and things near the rounded wall. Like it just, sometimes it just, I don't know, it just doesn't want to work. You know what I mean? Like that's just part of the round walls. And every time I build with round walls, I'm like, I'm never going to do this again. I'm not going to build with round walls again. And, I always do it. I still continue to do it. I think when I was building this, I was getting so frustrated with the stairs. I ended up posting like in my Discord, I was like, remind me never to use round walls again. Like, which I will. I mean, it will happen. I don't know when, but I'm sure it will. And because they're just honestly, they really do create this cool look. It's just, it can be a little bit difficult to do, or even if you want to change swatches, like sometimes I had issues, getting a hold of the item. So if things look a little like off, I do apologize for that. I did my best to make sure everything was lined up in these round wall portions, but they just gave me such a hard time. Like I had to take the chess table outside to put chairs on it because the chairs wouldn't lock to it for some reason. So, we do our best. We do our best. And I do talk about this just because if you do try to use round walls and these are problems you encounter, if I figured out a way to get around it, I try to let you know so that you can actually use round walls, if that makes sense. And we end up using this really lovely dark swatch. I believe that's a City Living bed, and I don't use it super often, but it looks so good with that new for rent rug. Well, I say new, but we've had it for a while. At the time it was new, but it looked so good with that bed. I was very happy with the way that turned out. And I have the like easel like painting area to, one of the sides, I think it's the left side of the bed. And we do end up having like a lovely dresser. We do have a desk here as well. And I do try to have like I don't know, just like a hangout space upstairs. So I figured, we do have the ability to have people spend the night, that kind of thing. Or if you do add another sim to the home, there is a place for them to sleep. I actually end up, instead of having a couch, I end up using an eco lifestyle single bed, like turned like sideways, and it kind of acts like a really cute couch, but it can also be a bed if you do have sims visiting, that kind of thing. Or if you have a kid or something, then you can all just like live in the same room. But I did add some of those accent pillows, and I loved the way this like wooden wallpaper, that sounds really silly, the wooden wallpaper, the I guess the wallpaper I ended up using, I thought looked really cool here. And I do end up using, so this is like a red shelf. If you've not seen that before, basically, it's just an item that helps you really specifically place things at a certain height. And it technically is CC, but it is not in the build, so it doesn't, cause any issues. But you can either use that, or you can use the Dream Home Decorator, the little cube, like the cubicle thing. It is a good way too to actually do the same kind of thing. If you have an item that will clip to it, you can like lift that little box up and down to get the exact height. And since I wanted that really cute like book and mug tray on the bed, I just used that to get the right height, because if you just like lift it using the keys on the keyboard, it doesn't like always sit quite right, you know what I mean? So I just thought that was really cute, and it doesn't impede your Sim's ability to use the bed or anything like that. It might look a little weird when they lay down, but there aren't like any issues in terms of being able to use it. And I did playtest this build to make sure your sim could actually get around and use everything, since I did have so many issues. So fingers crossed when you download it, if you do decide to download it, you don't have any of those issues. So apologies if you do, but I know the game just kind of decides sometimes when things are going to be a problem and when they're not going to be. But just adding in a small seating area and putting in a little guitar, I figured maybe the sim's also like into music. And I ended up using some Journey to Batu hanging lights. So I apologize. I don't think a lot of people have that pack, but honestly, the hanging lights are really pretty from that pack, just like the metal and everything. So I do use those sometimes. I think that might be some of the only stuff other than that plant that you see right there. I think that might be the only stuff I use from that pack. I don't think I've ever actually really even played that pack before. Well, I guess that's a lie. I have kind of played Journey to Batu once, and that was when I was actually streaming on Twitch, and a friend of mine was streaming with me, and she was actually controlling like the game, and her sim, she got the pop-up that said, oh, like, do you want to go to Batu? Before I could even tell her what it was, she was like, yes. And then all of a sudden we were in Batu, and like I didn't even know how to leave. Like, it was a whole thing. It was really funny. I think it's posted over on my second channel that's linked down below in the description if you're interested in checking that out. Of course, I haven't streamed over on Twitch in a long time. Maybe I'll actually get back into that as well, because I do, I really had a good time doing it, and I do like more gameplay over there than I do here on YouTube. But like I said, I kind of had this like open air shower, which I thought was really cool. I don't know, it just felt eco lifestyle-y. I don't know. So it was really cute. Your sim can get up there and use it, but the toilet and sink are covered, so you shouldn't have any issues with that. And then just kind of adding almost this like, I don't even know, like just plants and stuff kind of off of the kitchen, I thought would be really cute, almost like they were planting their own stuff. I think I end up like, I mean, I go back down there and actually finish that up, but that was kind of my idea was that like, your sim would be able to grow their own, herbs and stuff like that out there. Like if you've ever seen those little gardens you can put on your counter that like have all of those really cool herbs to put in your food, and you just kind of like clip off some thyme and like put it in your, whatever you're making. And I honestly, I love the idea if I was someone that would do that. Like I don't like hate cooking, but I like baking more. So I don't know. Like, I feel like for some people it'd be really cool. I know my parents have done that. They've grown like their own peppers and stuff in one of those, I think it's Arrow Garden. And and have used some of that stuff. I think they've grown maybe basil or something and have used that in some of their cooking. So I thought that was really cool. And this is where, like I said, I put the bed over here. So it could be used as a place for another sim to sleep, but also as a cool couch because your sims like can just sit on that and watch TV or whatever. And I couldn't help myself. Like, you had such a cool view with all these windows. Like, I figured we really needed to have seating so you could see out onto this really cool lot. And then I do actually squeeze in a little washing machine over in this corner because I thought that would be super adorable. And then I end up putting a clothesline outside, again trying to be a little more eco lifestyle. I didn't use the wash bucket, but but I didn't use the dryer, so I kind of like meeting halfway on the eco lifestyle but still having a washing machine, and then just putting some matching clutter over there with it as well. And I think honestly this turns out really cute. I don't know if I've actually built anything like this before, and those like vine curtains I don't know if I've really used before either. But I recently was watching a lot of Sid Mack. So she is a builder on YouTube, but oh my gosh, like amazing build, seriously awesome, like super creative. And so they actually use this vine curtain all of the time, and I always forget that it exists, and it always looks so cute. So I was kind of excited that I actually used that in this build. And I did also recently get back into watching gameplay as well. So I don't know, I feel like I've been all over the place. I've been like watching a lot of Sims and I've been playing a lot of Sims. I just haven't like been posting videos. So hopefully I get back into that because I do miss it. Life's just been a bit crazy. Like after we moved this past March, it's been, oh gosh, we're coming up on a year now. That's so crazy. But it was just, everything's just been busy, you know what I mean? So hopefully I can get back into it, and honestly just finishing trying to set up my office so that I can stream again as well. But like I said, I did put in like this little space over here off the kitchen with the idea that maybe it's somewhere for your sim to grow stuff that they use while they're cooking. So I thought that would be really cute. And then I also do have a yoga space by the front door as well. Honestly, I packed so many skill building items into this build. I feel like your sim can definitely build, I'm not going to say almost any skill. There are so many skills in this game, but a lot of skills can be built just by being on your home lot, which is really neat. And this did end up coming to about 115,000 simoleons, which is so crazy considering it's like a 1-bedroom home. But I guess since I had so much stuff added in here, but I did put like the greenhouse items in here because I thought that would be super adorable. And like I said, I did put some actual gardening like stuff outside in the side yard so that your sim can actually grow stuff, and if that's something they want to do. I can't remember if I put the flower arranging table out there or not, but if I didn't, of course you can add that if that's something that you want your sim to do. I honestly have not used that very much in gameplay. Y'all will have to let me know if that is a good way to make money, because I honestly have no idea. I mean, I've used gardening to make money, but I've never actually like done the, actual putting together of a flower arranging table. And I love how I put candles in there because I love, honestly, the like color that is like it emanates from the candles like in this game. I feel like it just makes it feel really cozy, so I add those in there. Would you really have candles right next to your plants in your little greenhouse gardening area? Yeah, probably not. However, I just like the way it looked, so I added that in there. And I do end up using this like wooden decorative wall piece, putting it behind this like, I think this is Spa Day, that like square item. I put that in there because I thought that would look really cool and kind of like a custom like wooden piece, and just add a little extra something there. And then just putting in, I think, let's see, can't remember whether I put the yoga side in first or if I put the like gallery wall side in. Again, that's the space that I said like had technically custom content, even though I literally had a sim come to the lot and just paint stuff. And I was trying to do some like cool storage kind of stuff, but the problem was everything just felt very large for this space since it was like that smaller like rounded corner area. So that's why I ended up just kind of squeezing in a yoga area over here so your sim can do wellness, they can do fitness like by swimming in the pool, all of that kind of stuff. And then just adding in some more greenery because honestly I just couldn't help myself. I just wanted to put greenery everywhere. I really did like that light as well, having that kind of industrial feel, but it kind of like stuck out from the wall a little awkwardly. So I might have to do that in another build because I thought that looks really cool. And honestly, I feel like this wall looks like one of those like selfie walls that some like stores and stuff have. Like they put all the like flowers and greenery and stuff, and like they put like neon signs and stuff on it, which I guess is kind of topical, but I thought it was really cute, kind of like little zen area for your sim to hang out in. And then over on the side is where I end up putting all of those pictures, which I was so excited about having my sim actually paint them, and it kind of like is from the surrounding area and looked really cute. And then the game got upset with me. So but if you do like this look and you just, you know, download the regular version, you can just have your sim actually paint those and add their own stuff to the gallery wall. I mean, you can even see the sim out front, like that I used for all of the painting. I ended up just like maxing their skill and having them paint the stuff for us so that it would look really cute here. And then on the side, like I said, I end up putting in like a huge pool, like an entertaining area, and then like this little space. I think I end up walling it off with like some bushes and stuff, so it's kind of hidden, you know what I mean? So it's got that like eco lifestyle functionality without being like, I don't know, like super industrial looking. And I do believe I put a fire pit out here, if I am remembering correctly, and I just really love the way those blue flowers look kind of with the gray metal siding on the grain bin. I just thought it was like, it just looked so pretty this way. And I end up putting the clothesline kind of over there near the like recycler and everything, and the, I guess, is it a dew collector, but that's like an industrial dew collector. So I actually don't think that would help with your like, you know, eco lifestyle like level. And I end up just kind of raising up these outdoor lights on the posts of the fence here, because I just thought that would look really cute and add some really nice lighting, and I feel like almost makes a custom fence look. So that is a tip that I have. I started doing that more recently, just adding your own lighting to the fences, and I think that just adds a little extra something to your landscaping. And as well as just using terrain paint, I do know, I think we're still having that glitch where you can download stuff or even like leave a lot and come back and you lose your terrain paint. So hopefully that doesn't happen if you download the lot, but that is something that's easy enough to kind of add in. I usually try to put like dirt and everything underneath like the flowers and bushes and everything. It just adds a little bit of just extra detail that I think ends up looking really lovely. And then just adding in like that basket of clothes back there, just making it really feel like that's where that sim goes and does all of their laundry. And I have tried to use the clothesline before, but I have had it like break and stuff, which, you know, honestly is a bit frustrating. Or if like it's out there and it rains and then your like clothes get all wet like all over again. I mean, like I wish there was a way to like get around that so it doesn't do that. And apologies if you heard my dog bark just then, but they are, two of the three are in my office right now, and one of them I think just heard a noise outside. And you know, so I have 3 Yorkies, and they, you know, they like to defend the home, you know what I mean? Like and they can get a little barky, which I love them to death, but you know, like not every little noise has to be barked at. So, but unfortunately, you know, that's, I feel like just part of who they are. But just doing this like really cute pool in here, and then I do end up adding in the Riviera like rocks, and I liked layering that Riviera like pool trim on top of the stone. I thought ended up looking really cool, and then adding those extra fountains in there for like a little extra detail. And of course you have to have the pool floaty. You need to be able to go out there and relax. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned it, but I don't play like actually like gameplay a lot, but I did not realize your sim can get sunburned. Like, which I thought was like the funniest thing. I mean, not for a human, being sunburned is awful, but it is like it is so funny to me that your Sims can get sunburned if you leave them outside like sunbathing for too long, which I actually did that to, I think it was Cassandra Goth. I was taking some like screenshots, like, and this is a while ago. I made like a house for the Goth family, and I had her like sunbathe in the pool and for the screenshots, and yeah, she ended up getting sunburned because I was like, what happened to you when she actually came in from the pool. But again, just adding in a grill here so your sim can kind of live their best life out in their backyard. And I feel like this is on like honestly kind of a dreamy backyard, like for me personally, just a really nice hangout space. And then I do add in, like I said, I believe a fire pit, and I don't know why I always have this issue of my fire pits catching on fire and like you know, then burning like the benches and stuff around it. I'm hoping you don't have that issue, but like, I'm curious, does anybody else have that issue? Or is it like just my game? Like, am I just lucky that that happens? But just adding in a few end tables in here as well. And then I do end up trying to kind of separate the space off, so it just makes a little more sense. Like, you have that like eco lifestyle-y stuff, and then you have like the entertaining space just being a little bit separate. I think just adds a little bit of, you know, separation there. And then again, I put those planter pots around as well, so that your sim can actually grow stuff around here. And if you want more space to grow stuff, of course you can delete some stuff out and make more space for that. And then just adding in a little extra things here to the pool. I love putting the little bubbles at the bottom of the pool. I just think that looks so cute when your Sims are like swimming around and they have like the bubbles come up and everything. And then just adding some towels and things over by those lawn chairs, so like your Sim can use those while they're out at the pool. I like to think they do, even though they don't. But if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.
Oh, but then you came and sat right next to me. Your eyes, they glowed and filled me up. We had never met before that time, but I just knew that we'd end up. You took away my loneliness. Oh, I know it. You're making me wholehearted. Together is always better. I don't want to be parted. You're making me wholehearted. You're making me wholehearted. We jumped off the subway leading nowhere. Your warm hands rubbed off the cold around me. I heard you say that everything is alright, but how did you know how I felt? You saw right through me that day. I was lost.